Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. In this how to play video, I'm going to take a look at RDU's Discover Mage. So Discover Mage, Burn Mage, Gunther Mage, whatever you choose to call it, has been a pretty popular archetype as of late, and RDU brought this specific version of it, an Anti-Aggro version of it, to the Starlight Finals and did pretty well there. So I thought it would be interesting to check out how this variant functions. So this specific version of the deck is really designed to beat aggressive decks, really designed to beat these board flooding decks. Say you have your aggro druids, you have your token shamans. And this version has 2 copies of Volcanic Potion, so there's plenty of ability to clear those early boards. And it's also running a counter spell instead of Ice Barrier, which is something that is getting more common overall though right now. So counterspell can counter something like a Bloodlust and prevent them from getting that lethal. Also, the deck is pretty low on value for Discover Mage. I mean, there is Medivh. Medivh is stable in Discover Mage, and that can be a real big value card, but it doesn't have any of the other value cards that are typically seen in these types of decks, such as Pyros or Elise the Trailblazer, or perhaps Archmage Antonidas. So all of those are missing from this deck. So how does this deck play out? In the mulligan, you're looking for Mana Worm and you're looking for Arcanologist. These are the 2 big keeps that you want to keep in every matchup. Other than that, it gets a bit situational, like mulligans often do. So if you think you're up against some kind of board flooding deck, well, Volcanic Potion is a great keep. Frostbolt can also be great keep sometimes. For example, if you have a Mana Worm, you might want to hold on to a Frostbolt to protect that. Even Babbling Book can be a good keep, especially if you're going first. If you get to play Babbling Book on 1, then Babbling Book and Hero Power typically contest whatever the opponent is going to play on his turn 1. A little bit less good if you're going second. Even Medius Valet can sometimes be kept for tempo. That 2-mana 2/3 can sometimes be good tempo even as it is, even without the battle cry. And after mulligans, well, how do you win games with this deck? The fun thing about Discover Mage is that there's so many ways to win games. Your main game plan typically is something like drop Mana Worm, drop Arcanologist, protect them with spells early on, protect them with Medius Valet early on. Then later on in the game switch over to direct damage and Fireball, Firelands Portal phase, and finish off the opponent. But depending on the circumstances, depending on what you find from Primordial Glyphs, for example, you can also go for other game plans. You can go for a direct burn plan, you can just throw damage to the opponent's face until they crumble. That can sometimes work in specific circumstances. You also have the Medivh win condition, so Medivh can provide you that swing turn. You play Medivh, you get Atiyesh. Atiyesh will start giving you minions equal to the mana cost of the spells you cast. So after Medivh turn you're going Flame Strike, you're going Firelands Portal, suddenly you have a bunch of 5-drops, 7-drops on the board, and you swing the game and win with those. And this deck can sometimes also play a little bit like a Freeze Mage, so you have the Alexstrasza. You don't have to deal that much early damage to the opponent, especially if they can't armor up. And then you just Alexstrasza them down to 15 and burn them from there. You might have saved some burn in your hand, discovered some burn with Primordial Glyph, and then go for that Alexstrasza and after that burn to death. So quite flexible deck with multiple win conditions. A little bit less value in this deck than in many other variants, because this is so heavily teched to beat those early game aggressive decks. But still a fun deck to play. And let's go see some gameplay of this deck. What does it really look like in action? And remember, if you enjoy this content, then like this video and subscribe to my channel. And let's go check out that gameplay. Now, against the Paladin I probably also need the Volcanic Potion, because it's most likely a very aggressive Paladin build. And they're going to come at me with Murlocs, 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 Murlocs. It could also be a mid-range build, which you can tell at around turn 8, when they start to throw in big minions after going in with Murlocs, 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 Murlocs. So sometimes it's a little bit difficult to distinguish between the various Paladin builds, because when they get the good opener, they just hit your face all the time. At all times. I don't like the book in this deck. But this is, you see, this is the Starladder deck, so I guess I will prepare for a volcanic potion here. We'll see. He cannot play a Blessing of Kings yet. He could have a War Leader. Inquisitor is not that bad. I mean, it's bad, but it's not that bad. Because I take the 70 phase, but then I kill everything but that one, so Gentle Megazord doesn't gain too much value. So then we go with the Volcanic Potion. Alright. Let's see. Okay, and it might be a more mid-range build because he's running Stonehill Defend. Well, maybe they all are. Alright, let's go with the Arcanologist, grab a Secret, which is going to be a nice block, and I can also ping away a Murloc, so that I can deny some Gentle Megazord synergies, potentially. He tries to pick an eye for an eye and set me to 1, so that I would be unable to deal any additional damage. That's something I have to be conscious of. And it's strange that he already set the Secret up. That's very strange. That is really strange. Okay, he is preparing for a Gentle Megazord turn. He wants to play a Hero Power and Gentle Megazord next turn. So what can I do against that? Well, I can Flame Strike the board with the coin next turn. So I should still be pretty fine here. That's an interesting selection of cards. Because Twisting Nether might actually be really good in this matchup. I believe this is a mid-range Paladin. I took the hit over there so I would not be too obvious about my intentions to Flame Strike. Because I think, well, okay, it's Spike-Rit Steed. Well, that's just weird. Ranges from weird to ineffective. Who knows? I guess I will polymorph that. That means that once he uses a Tyrion, I will not have a polymorph available. Yeah, I guess I'll polymorph that. Do I need to ping the 1/1 sheep? I don't. I can use Primordial Glyph. I can let the sheep live for now. Getting another Primordial Glyph. Alright. And from this one I get a Mirror Entity. Mirror Entity might be interesting. Let's grab the Entity here. Not playing that for his turn 7, but I could play that a little bit later. Oh, that one hurts. Discovered from the Stonehill Defend. Well, that one was unfortunate. So I guess I need to Flame Strike this board now. I could also just Volcanic Potion and ping the tree. This would be a 2/4. That's fine actually. Let's go with Volcanic Potion and ping the tree. Alexstrasza can hang around for now. And then I play the Entity. Entity for his turn 8, so that he does not have a clear way to play Tyrion. I approve that turn. Oh, that's nice. Oh dear, he was able to find another 1-drop. That sucks. Well, that sucks a little. What do you know? So 6, 7, 8. He could have the Megazord. It's still time to play Medivh. He doesn't have lethal with the Megasaur, no. 8, 10, 14 with the Megasaur. If he gets the +3 attack. Yeah, I guess it's time to play Medivh. Let's try this. Now if he does not have weapon removal, he's not going to have lethal. So I have the possibility to Flame Strike next turn. If I really need to, I can play an Ice Block and get a 3-drop. So there are many ways I can go about this. Anti-Aggro also triggers after the Twisting Nether, so I also have just the option to Twisting Nether the whole board and get an 8-drop. Alright, this is not very strong. He didn't have the Megasaur in hand then. I don't mind this at all. This is completely fine. Because now I can just Flame Strike and ping. I have even the exact 9 mana. Which is so sweet for this. Alright, now this is turning extremely well to my side. So do I Pyroblast the Light Lord? I think I do. I get a 10-drop. 10-drops are generally not that great. But it could be a decent. It could be like a 10-10. It's an 8-8. That's not bad either. Alright. That 8-8 can potentially deal more than the 10 damage that I spent there. I could get a 5-drop, play Cabalist Tome. Here comes the Megasaur. Poisonous, interesting. So is it time to grab a 5-drop? 8 cards in hand. This will go exactly. Yeah. Let's Tome, get a 5-drop. See what I can find. Alright. Then I probably want to deal with the poisonous minions. So let's ping that one away. Okay, you get a 1/1 that's not poisonous to your hand. Or Frostbolt the other one. Yeah, I think I'll just hit face with everything. Because why not? I can also freeze the Megasaur. This seems like a win. He spent his both of his secrets. I have lethal on board. Man, that was really tilting. But okay. Up against a rogue. Is it going to be a quest rogue or miracle? We're about to find out. Quest is the place. Do I just play the Medius Valet as a minion? Yeah, I'll just play it out. Let's see. I think I need to go fast here. This can help protect the Mana Worm, potentially. Well, not against the Igneous Elemental. Well, it could still protect the Mana Worm. Gives him some 1/2s to play out. He can dagger that one down. But if I just go face, then Igneous Elemental can hit the Mana Worm. And he can dagger that one down. Oh, he will dagger it down. That's how it's going to go. Let's see. I try to hit face. The Igneous Elemental at least does not die this turn. So he doesn't get the Flame Elementals too soon. He's going to dagger up and he's going to play a minion. Maybe. And that's also pretty strong. Because now he gets to clear the entire board. But at the cost of 2 chargers. So that's a small upside. That is a small upside to this. Do I need to prevent further trading with the Igneous Elemental? Probably not. This one is not hugely valuable anyway. I'll just Frostbolt face. Need to try to get some damage in. He will trade in with the Igneous Elemental, then he will play some of those Flame Elementals, and I can still Volcanic Potion them now. So I can still get rid of those ones before he is able to play the quest. Yeah, then the 1/2s will come. How many of them? I know he won't be able to play the quest this turn. But I can Volcanic Potion all the 1/2s. So that was the rationale that I was going for. Give him the trade. Let him play 1/2s. Volcanic Potion those 1/2s away before he is able to play the quest. And that's exactly what I'm going for here. Then the next question is what else? He still has 4 cards and I don't know what those cards are. I probably need to play the Medius Valet on the board, even though I don't have a secret. 5 cards. He wasted 2 chargers basically. So that gives me some kind of a chance. Also, if he doesn't have a prep, he cannot play minions and the quest this turn. He needs to have prep in order to do that. But oh, that's a lot of minions. Meteor lets me deal with all of them. Okay. So I was still able to deal with those ones, but now he can already play a minion in addition to the quest. Just your casual Stone Tusk Boar. I think this is a good time to play Harrison, most likely. He can trade away the Harrison, but I guess it's fine. Is he going to have bounce effects for that boar? If he has bounce effects, he could also... I think I want to commit the Frostbolt on the boar after all. Now let's Frostbolt the boar. This plays around bounce effects. I was also considering playing Arcanologist, but he could have taken value trade, bounced the boar and killed the Harrison too. And I didn't want to let him do that. So now I'm basically trying to starve him of resources. Violence Portal on his 5/5 is a way to go about that. But there's these 2 cards that he hasn't played, so that makes me think he has Vanish in hand. I might need to play that Medius Valet for tempo. Let's assume this is Pirate Warrior. And there's a Babbling Book. And it gives me a secret. Interesting. Oh, but it's Quest Warrior. Now this is going to suck. Well, life always sucks when you play against Quest Warrior. I could play the mana removal with the Arcanologist. A little bit less effective mana-wise. Let's play the Arcanologist. I want it in my deck a little bit. Alright. Let's see if I have what it takes to beat a Quest Warrior. It's going to be hard. The last game I had a 66% chance to win at the end, but he got really lucky. But we'll see what happens this time. Pair of Medius Valets. I probably want the ice block up here, so that next turn I can play double Medius Valet. If I played the barrier and he did for some reason decided to hit me in the face, that would mean that I could not play any Medius Valets. So he plays a Tar Creeper here. Medius Valets are pretty good against that. But doesn't play a Tar Creeper, he has something better. So just one Medius Valet. But if I play the Mana Worm, he just trades that away with the War Axe. I guess this is still a double Medius Valet play. Treat phase on 4, he could play something like a Bloodhoof Brave. How do I even kill a Bloodhoof Brave? No, it's just ping phase. Let's hold on to the other Medius Valet for a little while longer. He might use the War Axe to kill this one. Then he plays something like Bloodhoof Brave here. Well, that 1/7 is certainly impressive. Certainly. I guess I'll try to develop a Mana Worm here. We'll see if he has some kind of whirlwind effects and something to deal with the Mana Worm. War Axe is now spent, so there can of course be another War Axe as well, but that was the key, to get him to spend the War Axe so that I can then try to go forth with the Mana Worm. Which still might not be enough. What can he do with 6 mana? Ouch. Nice slam. Nice armor smith too. Ha. Lots of nice stuff going for him. Okay. And the Battle Rage. Things are just going his way. But I can Medius Valet and ping. So I can deal with the armor smith and only give him a couple of points of armor. This is not too bad yet. Yeah, this is quite alright. So the revenue shared with the streamers. I think I'll Harrison this weapon. I can't Harrison Sulfuras then, but I just need to Harrison this. That will leave me with nothing in hand against a Dirty Rat. Oh, this is such a bad selection. It's probably a Forbidden Flame because there's some big taunts out there. Let's see. Oh, that explains that I'm on mobile, so that doesn't show. Okay. Well, if he really wants to kill this, he could sleep with the fishy, is it? Yeah, got the Dirty Rat down. So I lost the Alexstrasza. I was a little bit afraid he would have a Dirty Rat. Not all lists include a Dirty Rat, but I was a little bit afraid he might have one. And he might also be willing to use it here. But now he also needs to have the Brawl. Or, well, an Execute will do. At least he didn't get a Medieval. That's the upside. There goes the Execute. Okay. Bit of slim pickings here. Double Volcanic Potion again in hand. I have always drawn this very early when I'm against the Taunt Warrior, and that's terrible, because it's a really bad card in this matchup. I'll just Forbidden Flame the Dirty Rat, right? He could have a Primordial Drake for next turn, which could then kill the Harrison. But there's no way for me to avoid that. So I just hope he doesn't have that one. Yeah, Primordial Drake is really big here if he has that one. I can play around Whirlwind, but I cannot play around Primordial Drake. Unless I don't use the Forbidden Flame. Well, Polymorph is good for the Primordial Drake anyway. I'll use the Forbidden Flame here. Then let's hope he doesn't have Primordial Drake. I guess he doesn't have the Drake, because Drake would have been a snap play. Haha. He gets the Drake for next turn. Sure, why not? Why not get the Drake for next turn? Sounds like a plan to me. Okay, so Harrison is already as good as dead. I can just use it over here. But I have nothing. I have just nothing here. And he has, yeah, this is again going... for some reason my games against Taunt Warrior are terrible. But I guess it also is because of the volcanic potions. I mean, these just detract so much from this matchup, and on every time I played against Taunt Warrior I get the volcanic potions right at the start of the game. So that just detracts from the overall effectiveness so much. Haha. These are such bad cards. I guess I volcanic potion, ping away the ghoul, prevent some incoming damage, but this doesn't accomplish anything. I would have to find the Medivh. Alexstrasza is already gone, pulled away by a third dirty rat and then executed. And he just keeps top decking perfect cards. Well, the only upside is that he used the dirty rat when I have no minions in hand. Yeah, there are no minions. Absolutely none. Now he's a little bit confused on what to do. Oh, that's at least funny. I would just really need the Medivh. Medivh tried to get value from Flame Strikes. There's also Violence Portals left in the deck. There's Medivh left in the deck. Well, that's Medivh. 6 damage on the board. This is the time to play Medivh. Alright, let's see if he has weapon removal. I don't think most of these lists run weapon removal, so I don't expect him to have any. And now I have made the preparations for flame striking next turn. He could obviously just trade in all his minions and play a Primordial Drake, which would then result in Medivh dying. I guess he also has a few other ways to kill it. He has a ton of cards. But let's see. Alright, this is interesting. 50% chance to hit Medivh. He does hit it. But that doesn't really solve that much, because I still have the Flame Strike to come. He wants to start racing now. That's an interesting play. I don't think I quite agree. Let's get a good 7-drop. Now 6/6, not too bad. But he can just try to get more good hits with the hero power. This is more significant than the last turn's hit. Last turn's hit on the Medivh, he obviously gets it. Well, we'll see, we'll see. He could play a Primordial Drake here, maybe. But that's not the Primordial Drake he got earlier. I'm not going to be able to fatigue him, I think. Probably not anyway. He should be holding on to the weapon, most likely still. The third dirty rat he plays this game. So will I have enough power to just burn him down? That's unlikely. I could fireball this dirty rat though. Get a 4-drop. But I can't get 2 4-drops even. I could also try to glyph for something really big. That will only give me a 2-drop, but let's try this one. Well, Great Arcane Missiles, it gives me a 5-drop. I guess that will have to do here. Then we get the 5-drop from that one. And if I can... Oh, what? I could not hit the minions. Well, that was unfortunate. I guess I will Frostbolt his face to prevent him from using the weapon at least. Interesting times. Interesting times. Smorg. Yeah, those Greater Arcane Missiles, they just refuse to kill. I mean, I wanted to kill the Acolyte to prevent him from drawing multiple cards with... Oh, he wins the roll again. He has won 3 rolls in a row now. I want to prevent him from drawing cards with whirlwind effects. That's what I really wanted to do. And getting 3 missiles on 3 targets gave a pretty good chance that I would be able to do that. But not this time. So this is probably a minion that warrants a polymorph. I have 9 from hand. I need another 10. He has 8, 11, 19 here. Anyway, what we're gonna do with your luck, Ochi? I don't know. But he probably has another Armor Smith in the deck. So there are still problems ahead. I probably need to draw cards. I need to find something useful here. Violence Portal is sort of useful. But maybe not this turn. What if I polymorph? Yeah, I think I'll go with this line. Polymorph and Volcanic Potion. I want to deny Armor Smith targets. Let's try that. He has 14 damage from here, so not yet lethal. Cannot pop the block this turn. Next turn I can play something like Violence Portal and Frostbolt. That's a problem. It's 2 armor per turn. So hit to the face would mean that he can pop me at 1. It's 8 damage. But this guy keeps hitting. That's 2 healing every turn. I have 8, 13. I have 19 damage, but there's the Ally Armor Smith on the way. Do I have to kill the Ally Armor Smith? That would waste 8 damage. And probably still would not let me go through. I think I need to hit face. Let's try to hit some face. I have another ice block. So if the hero power misses, he cannot pop me this turn. Oh, now just find Pyroblast in 3 turns. Yes, midrange, I agree. I agree with you. I agree, and if I do that, then I can just push all the damage to face. And then try to find that Pyroblast. I mean, and there's only 6 cards. But now he's healing for 4 each turn. So is that even enough anymore? So he's at 13. He will heal for 4, he will be at 17. Unless... but I can Fireball ping, which will then put him to 10. I can have a Pyroblast out next turn. I can play the Mana Worm. Then I can Fireball and ping and develop the counter spell. And now the 4 armor from these, unless he finds another Armor Smith. I think he has a second Armor Smith in the deck as well. So 2 ally Armor Smiths and 2 Armor Smiths, and I've already dealt with 1 Armor Smith. So Armor Smith and Whirlwind effect is probably GG. Even if he pops me this turn, and he will pop me this turn, then I can Ice Block and I can Violence Portal. So if he doesn't have another Armor Smith, then that gives me 1 more turn to find that Pyroblast. I believe this is by far the best place I can do. And I'm playing to the outs I have. But he could have the Armor Smith. Pops me at 1. That's fine. He must not have the Armor Smith. Because I can deal 6. I can only deal 5. Okay, he does not have the Armor Smith then. So Pyroblast is an out. Man, that's a difficult matchup. I'm not sure I really need to keep Babbling Brook in the mulligan. Maybe that's incorrect. Some kind of a mage then. Oh, that's my Mana Worm. Too bad I have 0 spells. Well, I have Pyroblast, but that's kind of hard to use right now. And he has a Mana Worm too. Everyone has a Mana Worm. He also has the coin. So his Mana Worm is going to grow a lot faster than my Mana Worm. My Mana Worm is not growing at all. So he's probably playing the coin and a spell so that he can trade away my Mana Worm. Which is exactly what he's doing. Well, let's see. Entity. Not an entity, so probably a counter spell then. I think I'll kill the 4/3. He doesn't have a lot of cards, so the ability of that Mana Worm to snowball is limited. And he even has to use resources this turn just to kill the Babbling Brook, which gives me the kill on this in 2 turns. I just need to ping it here, because I believe that's a counter spell. I will probably let the Arcane Intellect go into the counter spell next turn. And I will ping this Mana Worm to death. Then I can Meteor the 5/5. So this fellow is going to the counter spell now. So I get rid of the counter spell. Then I can ping the Mana Worm. And unless he has another counter spell in hand, I get to Meteor the 5/5. And now he cannot play another counter spell even if he finds one. But we'll see. Secret Mage is... this is a very aggressive Secret Mage, so stabilizing against that can be difficult. Already down to 18. Okay, and then it's going to be either entity or counter spell. If it's a counter spell, I won't be able to Ice Block. And he has so many resources. I have to check for entity with the Cabal Courier. Can I take the damage from the Abyssal Enforcer? I think I can. Good news is that that was an entity, which means that I get to develop my ice block. Because if it was a counter spell, I wouldn't be able to ice block. And now I don't think he can pop me this turn, which means that I survived to play the Enforcer, which clears up these minions, and then I can Alexstrasza myself the following turn. There's 5 cards deeper into his deck than I am, so he has been getting some very, very good stuff going here. He probably pops me next turn. But then I will Alexstrasza. Can he pop me and play another mirror entity? One mirror entity, one counter spell gone. So he has one of both left. One of each left. I don't think he can pop me and play a secret. So I will get to play the Alexstrasza. And once I get to play the Alexstrasza on myself, then there is a chance that I can come back into this game. Because now suddenly I have 14 damage on board. That's either entity or counter spell. One or the other. Do I have a way to play around them? Might have lethal for next turn. I mean, if it's entity, I win. So I need to play the Arcanologist. And if it's entity, I play the Fireball and I win. If it's counter spell, then I have to get ice block and not counter spell from the Arcanologist. It's counter spell. So he doesn't have more counter spells. Maybe he does. He might have more counter spells. It could also be a spellbender. It could be an ice block. I didn't realize that. That was a mistake from me. I should have done that in a different order, so I would have been able to pop him at 6 instead of 8. I didn't realize he was running ice block in Secret Mage. That surprised me. Now if he also has a counter spell, well, popping him at 6 or at 8, it doesn't really make a difference. Because I don't have 2 spells that I could play anyway. If he has an Eater of Secrets, he can win this now. Will be interesting. Is there an Eater of Secrets? Nope. No Eater of Secrets. And he's down to 1 mana. So unless he has something from a glyph, then I win. Alright. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the show, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more.